Welcome back to Geeks Wargaming and welcome to our latest Warhammer 40,000 battle report. 1,500 points, Space Wolves versus Orks. Hi guys, welcome back to Geeks Wargaming and welcome to our latest 40k battle report. And Matt is back on the channel today. And
hello!
Today he's got his
Orks.
He's got his Orkses with him, with the brand new Ork Codex as well, which I've not actually seen yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these Orks.
So when he queries any of the rules, that's the special edition Matt only Codex that Rich isn't allowed to see.
Yeah, I will get the Codex and go, wait a minute, the rules that
they revised that between the limited edition one and the mainstream release.
That is not in this rule book. But I'm taking my Space Wolves today, and it's the very first time I've actually been able to use my Space Wolf Codex. And how long's this Codex been out now? Is it over a year?
Well, I think since that thing that's happened in the world that we're not allowed to talk about,
not allowed to
which is the Rich isn't allowed to play 40k plague that's going around. Finally, he's recovered from that after a 2-year period, and is allowed to meet people that he likes to think as his friends.
Wow, that cuts slightly good. Wow. So yes, I'm taking my Space Wolves today, and Matt is taking his Orks. Today's mission, we are doing battle lines, which has come from the Grand Tournament 2021. Basically,
you'll also notice the slight delay there because there was apparently a Grand Tournament 2020 pack. This weird fever dream that we all bought it and never got to play with it.
It just sat in a cupboard gathering dust.
Yeah, the new book came out which had exactly the same cover art as the previous one, just to confuse things.
Yeah, and there might have been a slight moment when we were setting up the game. When I had the 2020, I went, uh-oh, I think I might have thrown away the 2021 version by mistake. However, I have both of them.
Yeah, we got there in the end. We almost played 2 completely different missions.
It was about a 5-minute panic of, I've thrown the wrong book away. But I haven't, it's all fine. So yeah, we're taking the Grand Tournament 2021 pack and battle line. So basically we've got 4 objectives on the battlefield, 2 in no man's land and 1 in each other's deployment zones. And the idea is
so it's a take and hold progressive mission. So every turn other than the first, you get 5 victory points if you hold 1 objective, an additional 5 victory points if you hold 2 or more objectives, and then finally an additional 5 victory points if you hold more than the opponent.
Yay! There you go, nice and easy. And then obviously secondaries as well. Matt, what secondaries are you taking today?
So I've gone for the mission-specific secondary, which is Vital Ground. Mm-hmm. So for the objectives that are in no man's land, if I'm holding those, I'll get 2 points apiece. And then if I'm holding the objective that's in your deployment zone, I'll get 3 victory points for that one as well. Thought it made sense for the Orks as I'm going to be moving forwards with the majority of my force. Mm-hmm. So push forward, hopefully break through and get into the enemy deployment zone. Should be quite a nice way to get points every turn. My secondary is the Octarius data. So again, that goes quite well with pushing forwards and holding ground. So early game I'm going to be trying to do the action to get the Octarius data in my own quarters. And then towards mid to late game, moving forwards into Rich's quarters to get those there. And then again, that goes hand in hand with my final secondary, which is engage on all fronts. Which again, I thought with the green tide that I'm taking, should be quite easy to get.
Yeah, and mine today, I'm taking Vital Ground as well for one of my first of my secondaries. I'm Space Wolves. I've got a lot of speed. I've got my Thunderwolf Cavalry and I've got Rhinos and I've got speed to get up the battlefield. So I thought I'm a bit quicker than Matt. I'll be able to get up faster to the objectives. Over the moment, why am I quicker than you?
No! I've gone with Evil Sons. They're red. I'm precisely 1 inch quicker than you.
You are 1 inch quicker than me. Oh, okay. All right.
Every inch matters, people.
Apparently so. I've also taken Oath of the Moment as well, which is basically get a victory point if you don't break. I'm a Space Marine. At least I've got double chances of not failing a morale check.
It's one of those where it's a secondary objective, but there's 3 parts to it.
There are.
So I think one of your parts is if you kill a character or a monster blah, blah, blah.
A vehicle, whatever.
Oh, hey, look, you're probably going to do that over the course of the game anyway.
Yep.
Then the one with the morale, again, you're a Marine, so you get your rerolls and all that jazz.
Yep.
And then the final part, I think, is if you hold the centre of the board.
Yes, you have to be within 6 inches of the centre of the board. Again, with that speed and mobility, with my Grey Hunters, I'm just thinking I might be able to go in and go do that one quite easily. And my last one is Shock Tactics. So with Shock Tactics, basically, if Matt's holding an objective, there's quite a lot of Ork bodies on the board, you're going to be doing that at some point. And I push you off that objective, I get a nice big chunk of victory points, so I thought I'd take that one as well.
And again, it makes sense because we've got the 2 objectives that are in the middle of the board there. So there is the opportunity that they're going to be changing hands throughout the battle. So you may as well take it for your 2 points for the primary. 5 points for the primary, and then 3 points, I believe it is, for the shock assault. Yeah,
I think it is 3 victory points for that one. And we're both going to be running quite close combat armies as well. So we think we're going to smash in on those two middle objectives in the middle of the board. But we'll see how that goes. Shall we go and take a look at the armies? Here's my 1,500 points of Space Wolves for today's game, and they are being led by Herald Deathwolf. He has the Warlord trait of Hunter. Next HQ choice, I'm taking Ulrich the Slayer. He has Recitation of Focus and Exhortation of Rage. That's apparently a thing. Into troop choices, we have a 7-man Grey Hunter squad and a 10-man Grey Hunter squad, 2 plasma guns, and the pack leaders have Power Fists in the squad. We also have a troop choice of the Primaris Interceptors, but the assault versions of them. So I'm looking forward to getting these guys on the battlefield. They are new to my army. In fast attack, we have the Thunderwolf Cavalry, all with Storm Shields, 2 with Chainswords, 2 with Power Fists, and 2 with Thunderhammers. Heavy support, we have the Long Fangs, 2 las cannons, a missile launcher, a plasma gun, and a heavy bolter. And then finally, 2 transports of rhinos to help with the Grey Hunters across the battlefield.
Hi everybody, so here's my 1500 points of Evil Sun's Orks, all in a single battalion. Starting off with the HQ choice, which is a War Boss, and he's got the Super Cyborg body there, just with a custom shooter and a Power Claw. And his Warlord trait is Brutal but Cunning. A Weird Boy here, and his powers are going to be Smite, the Jump, and Warpath. Troops, 10 Shooter Boys with a Knob with a Big Chopper, a Big Shooter. Then at the back there, 2 units of 18 Chopper Boys, both with knobs with Power Claws. Big unit of 8 Mega Knobs, all with claws and custom shooters. 2 of those have combi rockets. Another 6 Mega Knobs with kill saws. They're going in a truck there. Over to the other side, we have a unit of 6 Burner Boys. Well, 5 Burner Boys and the tax they have to pay now, which is the Spanner, who's got a big shooter. A unit of Tank Busters at the back there. There's 1 with pistols, the rest have rockets, and 2 Squig Bombs, and they're going in the final truck. And there you go. I believe that's 1492 points altogether.
The armies and the objectives are down on the battlefield. Space Wolves will be going first. We've just rolled off and Space Wolves got first turn. Long Fangs are at the back of the battlefield, looking out from the top of the bastion across at all the Ork horde. First of the Rhino on that side has the full Grey Hunter squad in there and will be looking at tearing its way up and getting into combat. The Assault Intercessors doing the same, followed up by Ulrich the Slayer. Now we do have one of the objectives right here. So Rhino with Grey Hunters in, probably going to go park on that and then just sit there forever. Thunderwolf Cavalry and Herald Deathwolf on this flank of the battlefield, looking at heading up the battlefield, and they're going to be facing off against the Orks. Second of the objectives is just here, so en route maybe take that. We've got a truck with tank busters in, followed by a big squad of boys, smaller squad of boys with the next objective in Matt's deployment zone here. We've got Mega Knobs with a War Boss and a Weird Boy there. Then we've got Burner Boys, another squad of boys, and then we've got the second of the trucks, which has got Mega Knobs in, but with the kill saws. And then finally we have the fourth objective right there on that edge of the battlefield. Well, let's head over to Space Wolves turn 1. Thunderwolf Cavalry and Herald Deathwolf have moved and advanced, and both of those units rolled a 1. I used a command point to re-roll the Thunderwolf Cavalry's charge and re-rolled a 1. So that went really, really well. The Grey Hunters, they've advanced, they come out the Rhino and moved and advanced, and I rolled a 6 with them, so they're now sitting there nicely. They will be holding on to that objective. The Rhino that they were in, that has moved on to that objective. Orks the Slayer, who has cast one of his litanies, the Rage one, which I can't fully remember his name. Yeah, that's the one, Execution of Rage. They've all moved forward and advanced, but only like 2 inches, so that was great. And then the other Rhino has moved up, it's 12 inches, and he's sitting on that objective there. We're going to be heading into shooting. Realistically, the only thing to shoot will probably be the long fangs, and then we're going to attempt the charge. The end of the shooting and the assault phase, basically, it was a big whiff fest. The missile launcher fired at that truck over there, missed. The las cannons fired at this truck down here, and then missed. The Thunderwolf cavalry went to charge into the boys, failed. Command point reroll, re-failed. Herald Deathwolf also failed. It all went very, very badly wrong. Oh, there was one thing in the shooting phase. The bolters from the Rhino killed off a boy. Yay, there we go. Matt has gone very early with a war this game. He's gone in turn 1 and everything has moved and advanced up, apart from we have the burner boys that have gotten out of the truck here. They've moved around the side of the battlefield. The boys, the Meganobs and the War Boss, they've moved and advanced looking at the Thunderwolf cavalry. On this side, the boys in the middle, they've stayed still because they're holding on to that objective. Over this side, the Meganobs got out of the truck has moved up. Meganobs and the boys and the burner boys are there now on that side of the battlefield looking at that Rhino. In the psychic phase, Matt cast Warpath down onto the Meganobs down there. He also cast a Smite as well, which did 3 wounds. There was a bomb squig launched from the tank busters down there, and that killed off one of the Thunderwolf cavalry guys. Everything else down there kind of was a bit of a fail, wasn't it? The Rhino's taken 3 wounds over there as well. That was from the burner boys. Everything else kind of whiffed. So we're going to be heading into assault phase. I think things are going to get a little bit messy. It's all got to be Orky on the charge phase. Basically, the Meganobs, the War Boss, have all made it into combat down here. The boys have made it into combat. They also declared against Herald Deathwolf, which they made, because he was going to heroically intervene anyway. I've then used a stratagem for counter charge, which means that for 1 CP, the Grey Hunters around there have now joined in as well. They've heroically intervened. And down there, there's a big blob of mess going on with the Rhino, but we're going to head over to the fight phase and see what survives. Very mixed round of combat there. The Rhino over this side has died. That was all down to the Meganobs. The boys jumped out. I lost 3 as they got out of that Rhino, though. They got tangled in the wreckage. So 3 died over there. Over here, the Thunderwolf cavalry were just absolutely annihilated by the Meganobs down here. Warpath and War. 5 attacks each. It's just not going to go very well. Herald Deathwolf has taken a few wounds as well, but him and the Grey Hunters then put the slap back onto the boys, and they lost 15 down there, so that's quite painful. Matt has made those auto rally. Start of turn 2, movement wise, basically the assault intercessors have moved around there looking at going into the boys. The guys out the back of the truck have moved closer to the centre of the battlefield because I need that. In the shooting phase over here, we wiped out quite a few of those boys, basically from the shots of the intercessors and from the Grey Hunters. The Long Fangs have obviously stayed still. They put shots down into the Meganobs, killing one of them off. And then the Bolt Pistols down here in combat killed 1 more boy off. Well, that was a little bit of a mess down this side of the battlefield. So the Assault Intercessors went to go into combat, and I did a multi-assault against the boys and the Burner Boys. Failed to get both of them, so I didn't go into combat. The Burner Boys overwatched, killing off 3 of the Intercessors. The Grey Hunters that were at the centre of the battlefield moved out and into the boys, but failed to kill them off. They did the multi-assault as well, and then Matt used Cut in Flames with the Burner Boys, and basically there was a big fight, lots of death. I've got 1 Grey Hunter left, and Matt has got 2 boys left down there. But one thing that did happen was that Matt interrupted combat down here. So Herald Deathwolf has died. He got pulled down by the knob from the boys with the claw, and then the Grey Hunters swung back and killed him off. Now what I have done is I have consolidated back my 3 inches, so I'm within 3 inches of that objective, and I've got objective secured, and Matt, there is nothing around there for Matt that has that. So let's head over to Matt's turn 2. In the Orc movement phase, basically Matt has consolidated up into this mess around here. He's going to try and kill off all those Grey Hunters down here. The tank busters that were here, he's then cast a jump, and they're now here. Looking at the Rhino on that objective over there. And then the Mega Knobs around there have come around to be in the face of the Intercessors, and the truck has just gone beep beep and just gone straight into that table quarter down there. And for Matt's secondaries, the squad at the back have now started the Arterius data. Little bits of damage done from the Orcs in that shooting phase. The tank busters down here have done 9 wounds to the Rhino, and 1 wound done on the Grey Hunters down here. But in the charge phase, the War Boss has made it in, the Mega Knobs have made it in. The tank busters failed their charge, and over there the Knobs have made it into combat, but I heroically intervened with Urik the Slayer thanks to the stratagem countercharge. In the fight phase for the Orcs, the Grey Hunters down here died. I managed to do a little bit of damage because I interrupted, but not loads down there. Down here, Urik the Slayer is dead, and so are the Assault Intercessors. That's basically from the Mega Knob pack. They just basically ripped them apart. Urik the Slayer, though, he did hit with that stratagem. Is it only Death or Duty End, I think it's called, where you fight after you're dead, and managed to kill off 1 Mega Knob. Well done, you. And then the pack leader from the Grey Hunters down there killed off the remaining boys, but then got pulled down by the Burners. This might be the quickest summary of a turn ever. The Rhino shot down into the Tank Hunters, killing 1 off. The Plasma, the Heavy Bolter, and the Missile Launcher from the Long Fangs shot down at the Tank Hunters, killing 1 off. The 2 Las Cannons took a pop shot at the truck over there, doing 5 wounds, so it's still alive with 5 left. And that is everything. One of the Long Fangs has died, the Heavy Bolter guy. He was shot by a rocket from the Tank Hunters down here. The War Boss then charged and made it into combat with the Rhino, blowing that up. Matt did attempt to get the Mega Knobs in as well, but they failed. Only the Long Fangs left now, so I'm going to hold out as long as I can on the top of that building and just pepper them with shots. The Space Wolves shot down at the War Boss. No damage done. And then in Matt's turn, he's made the Mega Knobs dig for data. And then the War Boss and the Tank Busters, and the truck, all shot up at the Long Fangs. No damage done. So a bit of a stalemate, not a lot happened. In the final turn of the battle, the Space Wolf shot down at the War Boss, doing 4 wounds, but because of his cyborg body, it takes it down to 2, so he was on 3 wounds. And all the shots went back up into Long Fangs, no damage done whatsoever. And with that, that is the end of the game. Matt scores 97 victory points because he maxed out on the vital ground. He got 12 points for Arterius data and maxed out on 15 points for engage on all fronts, and also the battle rounds he basically was scoring 15 points from round 3 onwards, and I only got 28 because I got 4 on the shock tactics, 4-0 for the moment. I didn't get any on the vital ground, but that was a good mission. It was great to see the new Orc Codex in use as well, and my first time using the Space Wolf Codex. Let's go talk about it all in the post-game review. Hi guys, on to the post-game review. I think we can safely say that was a little bit one-sided. You understand? That looks
Xeno snobbery.
It was a good fun game. It's nice to see the Orc Codex actually in full flow and being used very effectively by Matt. And the Mega Knobs, wow, they're a little bit tough.
I think you came to me and I effectively brought it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It'd be interesting to know what happened if I'd have made that charge, but I think we've spoken about that and you'd have gone exactly the same because the Mega Knobs would have just stepped in.
Like 8 inches over that way as a bit to 8 inches. So it would have probably made me a turn slower on getting to the objective on that side of the board.
I'd have thought so as well.
And if you'd got the charge off on the 18-man unit of boys, they'd have been deleted. Really easy, just gone.
Yeah.
You could have probably then consolidated into the Mega Knobs, which would have denied me the charge.
Yeah.
But because at that point then it would have gone over to my turn, and I would have been able to countercharge with some other units, probably the War Boss.
Yeah, true.
But it would have meant that you as the defending player would have got to activate them first. So interesting to see how that would have gone.
Yeah, it'd have been quite an interesting one to see. I think basically to sum up my game, it was a fail, like whiffs and failures, like my assault intercessors. I know.
Long fangs.
Oh, my long fangs. I mean, couldn't hit anything.
I'm just going to stand my War Boss in front of them for 3 turns?
Yeah, and we petted him and not do anything. We did a couple of whims and that was it. But then you got the assault intercessor. Now I know they are new minis, and I've only just painted them up, so there is new mini syndrome in play here. However, to fail the charge when it was like 6 inches, and then to lose 4
to Overwatch from 5 burners and a big shooter.
That sums up the game.
Sure.
Yeah, well,
okay.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. But that was that cutting tool, wasn't it?
That was in combat. So as they charged into the Overwatch with the burners, whoosh, 8 wounds from failed. It was literally that save. I think it made like...
not many.
I made 21 hits with the burners, converted that over to about, I think, 12 wounds. So again, a good roll. Yeah. But then you failed 8. Ugh.
Now I know it's been a little while since these dice have been rolled, but I didn't actually think dice would go bad during not being used. But apparently that's a thing as well. Dice go badly wrong when you don't use them very often.
I also think the matchup there between the two armies was kind of rock paper scissors. In that we both brought scissors, but mine was sharper. If Rich would have brought his Ultramarines, for instance, which is more of a gun line, fair enough, I might have been sitting on the 2 objectives in the middle for a little bit long, at least an extra turn maybe.
Yeah.
But
I'd have shot you off.
You'd have just
I'd have shot you off the objectives quite easily.
Sit in the tactical doctrine, just get lots of bolt guns on them with the rerolls from the sport characters, and just pop.
I mean, you say that, but obviously 9th edition is quite assault focused. Let's all face facts. I'm agreeing with this. I think it's assault focused.
If you could be efficient in each of the phases, then that's where you're trying to look for it. So with the Mega Knobs, for instance, it was part way through that game where I was like, oh, these guys are going to shoot over at these guys over here. I get 6 shots each with just the custom Dakar.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, ooh, okay. And then they're going to charge and they're all just going to get, oh, we're still in the war.
Yeah.
So 3 base, plus 1 for that.
Yeah.
Plus if I get the warpath off, that's 5 attacks each.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were doing that quite, with the war in play and all that kind of stuff. It was very effective. Yeah. Very effective shooting, very effective melee as well from the Orks. You are rocking big blobs of boys, and they do what they do best, and that's just lay down the hurt.
Toughness 5 actually made quite a difference there in the combat as well. So
massive difference.
I mean, I'm used to Marines hitting on 3s against you, wounding on 4s. Oh, you don't get an armour save because we're AP1 with the chain swords now. But the wounding from 4s to 5s made a big difference, I thought.
I think that has made a massive difference. So with my Orkies, I think that would be brilliant. And it'd be interesting because I run a slight very different list to what Matt runs. I've got a few Mega Knobs, but most of my focus is on my bikes.
Yeah, so you can get in up much quicker. The bikes as well, their Dakar guns now are ridiculous. I think it's something along the lines of like, with a pair of Dakar guns, 10 shots per bike or something silly.
I've got 8, 9 of them, something like that. So there's a lot of shots going in there. So I'm looking forward to getting my Orks back onto the channel. From my point of view, from my Space Wolves,
your war bikes have also got an 8-1 to hit.
Hey.
Yeah,
nice.
So,
see, I used to annoy everybody back in 5th edition, Dust Cloud, when they used to have was it like a 4 ping save? If I said the words Dust Cloud as I was rolling my dice, I'd pretty much save all of them. They were brilliant, but then they got that taken away and then went downhill a little bit, and then they seem to have come back up again. So it'd be nice to see what they do when I get them into a battle.
The other thing to consider as well is that your Ork army is Goth.
It is
faction as well. So, hey look, there's a Gazgul and a Makari, and you're then rolling 6s to hit in combat, which then explode into additional hits.
Yeah.
No more like the old Dakar that Goths had in combat, where you roll a 6, you generate another attack, but you have to roll to hit.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's all hits.
I rolled a 6, that's 2 hits per 6.
Awesome. Which is pretty damn good, isn't it? From first time using my Space Wolf Codex today, it was alright. It was. I don't know if it was the mashup or where I took the Thunderwolf Cavalry or what came to counterpunch the Thunderwolf Cav. You know, the ability now for Thunderwolf Cavalry to move 10, advance, and then assault is really good. What let me down there, again, another story of letdowns, was moving my 10 and then rolling a 1 for the advance roll, and then using the command point to re-roll a 1 and rolls a 1 because it always does. And then you're only moving 11 inches. And so if I'd have moved 6, I'd have had like a 4 or 5 inch charge instead I had a 10 inch charge. Yeah. And that makes big differences when it comes to this kind of game. And it's just one of those. It's just like I was saying, Ring Rust, and this is my second game in 2021. So, and last year I think I had 1 game. I think this is only my second game of 9th edition. So there is a little bit of ring rust going on, but it was still great fun. It was great fun to see the Orks.
And as we film this, it's also the pre-order day for new Ork Codex. And gee, I wonder who's gone and ordered a new copy of the Codex.
That might be me. That might be me.
So I think we're looking right now at all the members of the Geeks Wargaming are eventually going to have an Ork army.
Yes, I think so. And we are planning on going to a tournament, all of us with our Orks.
Yes.
So, well, we say that. Robin's still on about talking about it, but I don't think he's actually brought anything to do with Orks yet. Oh no, he's had a couple of test models that he's done a couple of little paint jobs on, hasn't he? That we've seen that you guys haven't. But yeah, they're looking quite nice. But it's just whether or not he actually turns it up. Robin has a very strong history of going, oh, I'm going to go start this army, and then buys loads of it, and then it'll sit under his bed or in a cupboard for a couple of months, and then he'll sell it or just get rid of it because he's like, no, I haven't got time to pay that, and then he'll move on to the next thing. Oh, I'm going to go buy this. And then,
be honest, that's the curse of the hobbyist. I'm sure there's lots of people that are watching this just nodding along going,
yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I just pre-ordered the Ork Codex, and well, we'll see what comes out in the next couple of months, shall we?
Yeah, and then the next Codex will come out, and it'll be like, oh, I'm going to go on all of that. Oh, I'm gonna go
I've got a Deathwing army that when the Dark Angels Codex came out, I literally purchased it, built it all, and it's now sat in boxes in my shed during the house move over Christmas time.
Yep.
At some point, I'll spray paint it Wraithbone, and then it's 90% done right. And then I can play Rich and have him go, oh, can I win these guys on 4s?
Yeah, exactly. Can we have
there you go, Deathwing versus Space Wolves.
That'd be good fun.
Clearly they're all fallen.
But yes, thanks for watching, guys. Please leave us a comment. What do you think to the new Ork Codex? Have you got it? Have you tried it? What do you think to the big snagger stuff? Are you keen on them? Do you like them? Or
is everybody just going to get 9 copies of each of the buggies?
Yes, probably will. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please leave us a like and a comment. It does massively help out the channel. Why not subscribe if you haven't done so already? Don't forget to check out the link to our sponsor in the description below, where you can get some great savings on the hobby and you're helping support the channel at the same time. But thanks for watching, guys, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.